Hey, let me ask you something. Have you ever walked away from a conversation and felt your heart still beating too fast? Replay the moment in your head over and over again, wishing you had said something different. Wishing you had said nothing at all. Maybe it was someone's tone. Maybe it was the way they looked at you when they gave that feedback. Or maybe it wasn't even what they said, but how it made you feel. Criticism has a way of finding its way beneath the skin. Even when it's meant to help, it doesn't always feel helpful. And when it's meant to hurt, well, that's even harder. You might feel a sudden urge to defend yourself, to explain, to justify, to make it stop. But here's something we often forget. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to take a breath before reacting, to say, let me think about that. Instead of reacting on impulse, you are allowed to feel uncomfortable and not let it control you. See, when we hear criticism, especially unexpected or public criticism, our brain goes into threat mode. It triggers the same response as danger, fight, flight, or freeze. That's why your heart races. That's why your mind starts racing. Why you feel like you have to prove something or disappear. But you don't. You don't have to prove your worth in that moment. You don't have to win that battle of words. Because real strength doesn't show itself in shouting matches. It shows up in the silence you choose instead. Calm is not weakness. Calm is clarity, and clarity is a power most people never learn to use. Let's talk about something most people miss. Not all criticism is personal, even when it feels that way. Some people project their insecurities onto others. Some people speak without thinking. Some people want to control you by making you doubt yourself. But here's the secret. You don't have to take it in. You can listen, but you don't have to absorb. You can reflect without reacting. You can respect their opinion without agreeing with it. And most importantly, you can walk away without losing yourself. Imagine for a second that every word thrown at you is like a rock. You can either pick it up, carry it, let it weigh you down, or you can look at it, decide if it's worth anything, and leave it on the ground. Not all criticism is useful, but some of it is. The trick is knowing how to tell the difference. That starts by asking yourself 3 simple questions. 1. Who is this person to me? Do they truly know me, care about me, want to help me grow? 2. What are they actually saying? Are they attacking me as a person, or pointing out something I can improve? 3. What is my first emotional reaction telling me? Is this a wound being touched? A fear being exposed? Or is this just my pride talking? Awareness is your first step to composure, because the moment you name the feeling, I feel hurt, I feel misunderstood, I feel embarrassed, you take away its control. You move from reaction to reflection. Let me give you a real example. Imagine you're in a meeting. You've been working hard for weeks. You present your idea, and someone says, this is disappointing. I expected better. Ouch. You want to snap back. Say, well, maybe if you actually helped, it'd be better. But instead you breathe. You pause. You ask yourself, what's true here? What can I learn? And what's not mine to carry? Maybe their tone was off, but their feedback is useful. Maybe they're frustrated at something else entirely. Maybe they're right, and this is a chance to grow. The point is, when you respond with calm, you take control of the moment. When you stay grounded, you stay in your power. Here's something else. Sometimes the most important person to be kind to is yourself. You can't always stop the world from judging you, but you can stop judging yourself so harshly. You are allowed to be a work in progress, to mess up sometimes, to learn and try again. You are allowed to say, I didn't handle that well, but I'm learning. And that simple grace you give yourself changes everything. So the next time criticism finds its way to you, breathe, pause, choose your response with intention. Say to yourself, I am calm. I am open to learning, but I won't let someone's words define my worth, because your worth is not on trial. It never was. You're already enough. Stay calm, stay grounded, and keep going. You've got this. You know, sometimes we confuse silence with weakness, but silence, when it's chosen, is actually one of the strongest responses you can give. It means you're not pulled into someone else's storm. You're standing firm in your own weather, and that is emotional maturity. Now let me ask you something else. Have you ever criticized someone in a moment of frustration? Said something you didn't mean just because you were stressed, tired, or hurting? Most of us have. We've all been both the giver and receiver of harsh words. So what if, just what if, we gave others the grace we wish they gave us? What if instead of responding with fire, we responded with curiosity? Like, what made them say that? What might they be dealing with that I don't see? Is this even about me? Or are they just hurting? Because hurt people often hurt people, but healed people pause, reflect, and choose better. That's the kind of person you're becoming. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you grow. And if no one told you lately, I'm proud of you for that. Let's go deeper. Staying calm when criticized doesn't mean becoming passive. It means learning the art of the pause. The pause is where power lives. It's in the pause that you decide. Do I react from habit? Or do I respond from intention? That pause might only be 2 seconds long, but it could save a relationship. It could protect your energy. It could prevent regret. You don't owe anyone an instant reaction. You owe yourself a thoughtful one. And when you practice that pause enough, it becomes a habit. And that habit, that's how you become unshakable, even in the storm. Let me paint you another picture. Imagine 2 versions of you. One gets defensive, raises their voice, shuts down or lashes out every time they're criticized. The other listens, feels, breathes, thinks, and then decides how to respond. Which one do you want to become? Which one would you respect more? That version, the calm, collected one, that's already inside you. It's just waiting for you to trust it, to choose it, to let it lead, and you're closer than you think. So here's what I want you to remember tonight. You are not the voice of your inner critic. You are the one listening to it. And you get to change the tone of that voice. You get to say, hey, we're okay. We're learning. We're growing. That's real confidence. It's quiet. It's grounded. It's not performative. It's the kind of strength that makes people feel safe around you. And maybe more importantly, makes you feel safe with yourself. Because if you can stay calm when someone else loses it, if you can hold your center when someone tries to pull you into their drama, if you can take criticism and still walk away with self-respect intact, then you're already ahead of 90% of the world. Let me leave you with this. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to always say the right thing. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone. Just stay honest with yourself. Keep choosing peace. Keep showing up. You are learning something powerful, and the world needs more people like you. People who feel deeply, but don't react recklessly. People who take feedback seriously, but not personally. People who choose to respond with wisdom, not ego. That's you. That's who you're becoming. So the next time someone criticizes you, smile a little inside, because now you know what to do. Breathe, pause, reflect, grow. You're not here to be perfect. You're here to be present. You've got this. You're still here. That means you're someone who cares deeply, someone who wants to respond with intention, someone who doesn't want to let the world harden them. And I want to tell you something important. There's strength in that softness. You don't need to become colder to survive. You don't need to shut down your heart to be taken seriously. You can be kind and strong, compassionate and confident, gentle and grounded. That's the kind of leader people remember. That's the kind of soul people trust. So the next time you feel the sting of criticism, remember this. You are not alone. Every person you admire, every voice that speaks with wisdom, every leader who walks with presence, they've all been through moments like this. Moments where they were misunderstood, where they were judged unfairly, where someone doubted their worth. But instead of letting it destroy them, they let it shape them. And you can too. Here's a truth that's easy to forget. You are always training your nervous system. Every reaction you give, every time you breathe instead of explode, every time you sit with discomfort instead of numbing it, you are teaching your body that it's safe, that not everything needs a reaction, that not every battle needs to be fought. This is more than a mindset. It's a lifestyle. It's a practice. It's an art. And just like any art, it takes time. So be patient with yourself. You're not supposed to get it perfect. You're supposed to get better. Let's talk about your inner critic, that voice inside that says, you should have handled that better. You always mess this up. Why can't you just be stronger? You know what? That voice isn't your enemy. It's trying to protect you. It learned somewhere along the way that being hard on yourself might keep you safe. But here's the thing. You don't need to be protected from yourself. You need to be supported by yourself. So next time that voice shows up, try this. Talk back with kindness. Say, hey, I hear you. I know you're scared, but we're doing our best, and we're learning. That shift alone changes everything. Let me remind you of something powerful. You can receive criticism without crumbling. You can listen without losing yourself. You can learn without loathing yourself. You can take what's useful and leave the rest behind, like walking through a field of flowers and only picking the ones that nourish you. Not every comment deserves to live in your heart. Not every opinion deserves to rent space in your mind. So choose carefully. Guard your energy. Protect your peace. Stay open, but not exposed. You deserve that. And maybe the deepest truth of all, sometimes the harshest critic we'll ever face is ourselves. But you can change that. Right now, right here. You can choose to meet yourself with more grace, more gentleness, more patience. You can say, yes, I could have done better, but I'm learning. Yes, that hurt, but I'm healing. Yes, that moment was hard, but I'm growing. You don't need permission to be kind to yourself. You just need practice. And this moment is the perfect place to begin. Seedling, so here's your invitation. Tonight, before you sleep, write yourself a short note. 3 sentences, not about what went wrong, not about what you regret, but about what you're proud of. Something like, I stayed calm today even when it was hard. I listened instead of reacting. I chose peace. Let that be your new habit. Let that be your practice. Because this journey of staying calm in a reactive world doesn't start with books. It doesn't start with lectures. It starts with moments like this, when you choose to pause, to breathe, to reflect, to keep growing. Direct hit. And now here's your call to action. If this message spoke to you, if it reminded you of your strength, your softness, your potential, backhand index pointing right, share it with someone who needs to hear it. A friend, partner, a colleague, someone who might be feeling small because of a recent criticism. Let them know they're not alone. And if you want to go deeper, if you want to build unshakable calm, emotional clarity, and deep self-respect, Compass, then stay with us here at Soft Skills Mastery. We make videos, reflections, and practices to help you build the kind of strength the world doesn't always teach. Not loud strength, not ego strength, but real, grounded, soul-deep strength. The kind that transforms your relationships, your work, your life. So subscribe, share, and most of all, keep practicing, because you're not here to be perfect. You're here to become whole, and you're doing better than you think. Breathe in, hold it, let it go. You've got this, and I'm cheering for you, always.